Hello, my little weirdos. I know the first thing you're gonna notice is like, what the hell happened to your face? Yeah, I got some sun. It was overcast all day and it was just humid. It wasn't super bad. It was like in the 70s, high 70s, which was nice, and it was had a breeze towards the, as it went on. But yeah, I noticed that. I was, no wonder I was so exhausted because I was tired. She picked me up around 10:30. Got there around about 10:45. Got there around 11:30, right when it was starting, because it was 11:30 to 2. A lot of them were going 12 to 3, but we went 11:30 to 2. Actually, we left. It was probably about a quarter after 2. And so when I got home, 3, something like that, dude, I was so fucking tired. Dude, I'm 62, okay? You're not young anymore. And I'm sure Bernie's exhausted when he's done with his rallies, for God's sake. But yes, I did the thing. I am still revved. Now, yes, I came home, fed the kitties, said hello to them, sat for a few, and passed. I lay down, and I probably passed out for, went to sleep for, yeah, it was a couple hours I slept. And I fucking slept hard. Because it wasn't just all the walking. I did use my walker. And the funny thing is, I didn't get any pictures of me at the protest. I didn't get any pictures of myself. A lot of people came up, like with regular professional cameras, and it looked like some of them were papers and stuff like that. There was like 7 or 8 different people asked, "Can we get your picture?" Because I was sitting on my walker, on the seat. A lot of the times to stay off my foot. There was no need to be on the foot all the time. That's why I brought the freaking walker. And a lot of people. I think it was because of the hair, and you saw the sign that I have. The one I use. I'm making more of them, big like cardboard ones and stuff. But so that's good. They had me sitting there with my walker, both sides. Oh, and I had that sign I had pinned to my shawl on my back. It was breezy, so eventually I just took the shawl off because it was getting a little warm, and I just pinned it right to my shirt, like right here. Well, this isn't the shirt I wore, but and it said the one that's just, I just used pins on a cardboard, and to pin it to the shirt that said "pissed off, not paid off." I figured everybody that after I walked past, they started laughing at the sign. I was like, "Hey, your back is free signage. Your back is free space for advertising people." And that's why I liked having a sign with something on both sides, because when you're holding it out, to the traffic on this side can see the other side. So there's always no matter which way they're going, they get a message. This one says, "Regulate guns, not uteruses." And the other side says, "America is not for sale," and it's got the red no sign. Everybody really liked the sign too, because it has holographic glitter and like that chunky nail polish. Because that's what I seal just for anybody doing protest signs and stuff, especially if it's not like on cardboard. If it's something that you're trying to use over and over, a good way to seal the letters and make it darker once you have them filled in. Now I use acrylic paint, but you can use markers too. But afterwards, and the chunky glitter, actually, when it's dry, it catches the sunlight. In the summer, you're gonna want, and if you have a crowds, they're on the bigger ones, and you've got the sun out, and you're seeing flashes here and here and here of the signs. It's gonna get attention. They're gonna read the sign. And that's the attention I look for. It's for the attention for the cameras, videos, whatever people are doing. And people did. There was people like me just themselves just video It's funny, I even brought a selfie, a stick thing so I could get a decent picture of myself, and I never did. I was too busy yelling. We did have some Trump people come through, and I had read this morning that last protest, and this is for all of you guys, last protest, when they had counter protesters trying to stir us up, trying to get us to do something so they can get pictures of it, so and then have a reason for martial law tomorrow. Ours was totally peaceful, and there was like half a dozen cop cars along the sides of the road blocking. We had to go like around because they were blocking us with our signs. But they were expecting shit. They got no shit. As far as I'm aware, there was nothing. Nothing happened except we protested. We did a lot of yelling. A lot of cars honking. But something I read this morning, when you have a counter protester, they had those huge Trump flags, the American flag with Trump written on top of it, which you're not supposed to do to a flag. They loved the flag so much, they would know the flag etiquette. He wouldn't be rubbing his greasy hands and face all over it, because you're not supposed to. They wouldn't be draping it around themselves, because you're not supposed to. And they're not supposed to put anything on the flag. And you're not supposed to wear... Now, you can wear stars and stripes, but it's not in the configuration of the flag. That's fine. But they do it all over. So, anyway, he came up, and one thing I read this morning before heading out, some of the hints from the different groups, one of the things I read was something that came up in the last protest, and people, with all they needed, if some Trump people came around harassing, trying to start trouble, just start everybody. And I was loud. I was like, protect the Constitution, protect the Constitution, protect the Constitution, just over. I was doing it by myself. And the guy did. He left. And then he showed up on the other side of the street. It was like 4 lanes of traffic, and he all showed up on the other side of the street. I saw him stopping at people and starting like the smaller group areas and harassing. So hopefully my voice got over, I was thinking. So I just started yelling, protect the Constitution! Protect democracy! And he looked over and kind of kept moving along. So just a little hint for any future protests. They found out that, and that's pretty good, protect the Constitution or protect democracy. They don't have a lot of answers to that, because you're pointing out that they're against democracy. They're against freedom. How do you really argue that as a good point? You can. And it worked. So whoever put those tips out, thank you. It worked. It worked. Now, granted, it was a one guy, but he kept traipsing up and down like stalking, trying. I mean, he was up on our side 3 or 4 times, and I saw him 3 or 4 times. He was diligently attempting to passively aggressively irritate us. I mean, he came right up to people's spaces. And the guys right behind me, the one guy was wearing a sign, big older guy, about something about a woman and stuff. I was like, yeah. Do I look like a woman or something like that? And the guy got up, the bearded guy got up, and with the Trump flag, got up to the guys. I mean, right, they were nose to nose, and they were like right behind my walker I was sitting on. And I'm like, But I tell you, he did get him. He stood up and he did not back down to that guy, to the Trump guy, and that was beautiful to see. Sir, if you happen to ever see this at the West Caldwell, New Jersey, April 19th protest, 2025, that was a beautiful thing to see, because that's the way I do it. Because I would have. That's what happened when we had the election. I work at the polling places, and 3 of the people that always worked there just knew him, and they couldn't shut him up, get him to quiet down. I mean, he was in total Trump gear. You're not supposed to do any of that in Jersey. And I went up, because I worked for a decade as a corrections officer in the men's state prisons. You don't scare me. right up to my face. I don't fucking care. Your chest is in my fucking face. I don't care. What are you gonna do? You gonna just blotto me here? Go ahead. Go, hit an old lady. Go ahead. You know. But I didn't have to do anything. I would have too, because let me tell you something. Older women, and especially older white women, we can say a lot of shit people would not take from anybody else. Use that power, ladies. When you get older, use that power. Trust me, even with older women, they know women are way more powerful than they want to admit. Most men don't like to admit that women can, against men. And when he got right up in that guy's face, and that gentleman did not back down, good on you. There was so much going on, and there was other people. I didn't want to get out of my chair, out of my seat, out of my walker, because there was 2 or 3 other people. One was the wife of him, and and I thought, oh, there's enough people, there's enough cooks over there. But I absolutely, if nobody else stood up for those 2, I absolutely would have been like, you want to fuck with an old lady in a walker? Is that what you want to do too? Because you fuck with these people here? These are my people too. No, I don't fucking know them, but they're out here protesting. They're my people. You gonna fuck with them? Want to get a camera over here of him fucking with an old lady? Yeah. Very easy. It's like, just turn to whoever you're talking to. It's like, get the video of this. Video it. That is what you do when they're trying to counter protest and trying to aggravate, because they're just itching. They are itching to say we were violent in one of our protests and therefore martial law must be enacted. As soon as people start saying, get a video going, and I actually did. That's why one of my videos, it started and it's black at first. That's what that is, because I figured at least if I couldn't get it up, at least you could hear what was happening. So absolutely, first thing we did was like, get a video, somebody video, and 2 or 3 people were like, I got it, I'm getting it. So just a little heads up. I mean, we weren't huge like, we're little towns. We're not huge like Trenton or, Portland, Oregon, or Chicago, or New York, or, the DC thing. But, I mean, it was pretty nice showing. They said it was more. They said it was a lot more than last time. But that's because they didn't have any in Morristown to this today, and they didn't have one in Montclair where Cory Booker spoke at the last one. So everybody from those 2 protests last time had to find another protest to go to. So a bunch of people from that went to Morristown went to the West Caldwell one. And because it wasn't as far as a drive. It's still 45 minutes, but it wasn't an hour and a half drive to like Trenton or something. And so they had more people, a lot more people than they expected. But that was because of the overflow of the 2 places that weren't holding one this time. Either they had something arranged for something else that week, today or whatever. So anyway, yeah. Wow, I was tired. It was the same thing the day after the elections, because the elections is a 16-hour day. You go in at like 5:00, dark 30 in the morning before it's even light out, and you come out and it's dark at like 9:30. It's a 16-hour day when you work those elections on polling place. And I hadn't done that for a while, and I did that this year because I used to do it all the time. Then kids and all that other stuff, you can't do it on a Saturday when your kids are with you. And so this year was the first time I had done that in a while. And at 62, it takes a lot out of you, especially when you're taking medications and crap. But Yeah, not too bad, and I didn't have to be on my foot as much, so it's not hurting super bad, but might later on. But I did definitely crash because I definitely crashed. I was tired. But I'm feeling a lot better. I haven't even eaten today. Can you believe that? Seriously, I didn't even eat. I haven't even eaten yet. Um, but I am very glad that I got out to one at least. And I intend to go to others as long as I can get a ride. So, awesome sauce. And I've got some shorts up of the videos. I've only got 2 videos, and I didn't even get any video of myself or even a picture of myself. But like I said, a bunch of people took pictures, so I wish I should have asked, where are you taking it for a publication, or are you just covering it, or is it just for yourself? Because I don't mind being in them, but yeah. But I knew the hair would be helpful at rallies, and I definitely wore bright stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna go catch up on the news of the day, see what else has been, who else has been rocking the day with protests. So I'm really hoping we got more than last time. So peace out, guys. Yeah, I know I'm a little high right now. I'm all like adrenaline, even after my nap. I woke up and I was like, bing! Raspy kept nudging me and with his nose, and I thought he was hungry because I'd passed out for a couple hours. But I think he was just like, "Why are you sleeping, Mom? It's still light out." But yeah, I'm really happy that I got to go to it, and because this was one that they were really counting on amping things up. It was important to me. It's every one of them is. So I will see. I'll probably give you an Easter greeting tomorrow, but happy Saturday. And if you went to a protest, thank you. If you drove past a protest and you honked, oh, that was something I want to tell you. People weren't just honking. We had people in the passenger sides of cars. They had their own little signs. They did. I was like, that is so cool. They're like, no kings, or holding up just little signs they made. It was like so awesome. And some of them were kids. They wanted to go past the protests and cheer them on. And I posted something after I got up in the 50501 New Jersey group before I crashed. I did do that much. And I woke up and I looked and there was a notification. A gentleman had saw my post, and I don't know, and he said, I drove through here and I was honking. I was like constant honking. I drove through this. It was awesome. And I was like, that was you? There was a lot of people honking. But I said, you don't understand. Even if you're not part of a protest, honking, like on the visibility bridge, honking really, really encourages us, because we do get the people yelling. We had people, that was funny though, I gotta tell you. The Trumpers, other than that one with the flag, people that drove by every now and then, you'd have with the Trump flag or something, or book you out the window. The ones who did that, first of all, the windows twice, 2 different guys, the windows weren't even all the way open. They just cowardly stuck their little finger up, pulled it down, and closed the window. I'm like, what a coward. What was the point of even fucking flipping us off? It's like he couldn't help himself, but he was outnumbered, obviously. And we all got a kind of a kick out of that. It's like, do you see that? He's such a coward. Or another one unrolled the window and said, Trump's your daddy! And started rolling it up right away. I'm like, what a coward. At least leave it open for, the rapport with the back and forth. Coward. Trump's your daddy! Hide. So anyway, guys, have a nice Easter and get some good sleep. And if you did go to a protest, thank you. And like I said, if you drove by and you gave us some encouragement, thank you, because it really does matter. Do it every time to everybody you go past that's doing this, because like today, it wasn't sunny, it was overcast, but it was humid, and it was obviously warm enough for this. So yeah, protect the Constitution, protect democracy. Peace out.